The belief that general knowledge is power is one of the most pervasive and misleading myths of our time. Why does a person with multiple degrees and a brilliant mind often struggle to achieve financial success, while a self-taught expert in a single, narrow field builds an empire? The answer reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of what constitutes true value. General knowledge, no matter how great its quantity, is little more than raw, disorganized material. It is only specialized knowledge, honed to a razor's edge and organized into a definite plan of action, that can be transformed into influence and fortune. Napoleon Hill, in his legendary study of the world's most successful people, proved this truth time and again. The great fortunes are not held by the know-it-alls, but by the masters of a specific craft. The power of specialized knowledge. Becoming an Expert with Napoleon Hill, written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1. Identifying your profitable field of expertise. Imagine you are a ship captain in the 17th century. Your ship is sturdy, your crew is able, and you have a burning desire to discover new lands and bring back untold riches. There is just one problem. You have no specialized knowledge of navigation. You know a little bit about the weather, a little about the tides, and a little about the stars, but you are not an expert in any of it. You are a generalist. So you set sail. You drift aimlessly, pushed about by the winds and the currents, sometimes getting closer to land, sometimes being pushed further out to sea. You see other ships, captained by expert navigators, sailing with speed and purpose toward definite destinations, their hulls laden with treasure. Meanwhile, you remain lost at sea, your potential and your resources slowly dwindling, a victim not of the ocean, but of your own lack of specialized direction. This is a perfect metaphor for the career of the average person. The problem is that our modern education system and corporate culture often create a world of generalists. We are encouraged to be well-rounded, to know a little bit about a lot of things. This creates a workforce of people who are competent in many areas, but are true masters of none. They have a general knowledge of their industry, but they lack the deep, specialized expertise that commands high value and creates real wealth. They drift from job to job, pushed about by the currents of the economy, watching with quiet frustration as the specialists, the experts, and the masters sail past them to positions of influence and fortune. They are lost at sea, not because they lack intelligence or ambition, but because they have no definite port of expertise to sail toward. The solution, and the foundational first step in harnessing this immense power, is to consciously and deliberately select a definite field of specialized knowledge in which you will become an undisputed expert. This is the moment you stop being a drifting ship and decide to become a master navigator. It is the act of choosing your destination. This is not about picking a job or a career in the traditional sense. It is about identifying a specific, focused niche where you can build a fortress of expertise that is so deep and so valuable that you become the go-to person in that field. This act of choosing a specialty immediately gives your life a powerful new sense of direction and purpose. It provides a clear filter for all your future decisions, from what books you read to what skills you acquire. It is the starting point for transforming yourself from a general commodity, easily replaced and paid an average wage, into a rare and valuable specialist who can command their own price and chart their own course to success. The first principle to guide your choice is the principle of natural inclination. Napoleon Hill observed that the most successful people were invariably working in a field that they were naturally suited for and genuinely passionate about. Their work was not a chore, it was a form of energized play. Attempting to become an expert in a field that you find boring or that goes against your natural talents is like trying to swim against a powerful current. It is possible to make some progress, but it will be an exhausting, joyless, and ultimately unsustainable struggle. This works because genuine passion is a powerful engine for learning and persistence. When you are fascinated by a subject, the long hours of study required to master it do not feel like work. Your curiosity pulls you forward. Furthermore, your natural enthusiasm for the subject is palpable and contagious, making you a more effective and charismatic leader, marketer, and salesperson of your own expertise. In practice, this requires a period of honest self-reflection. You must become a detective of your own life, looking for clues to your natural inclinations. Take out a piece of paper and answer these questions. What subjects did you love in school, long after you forgot about the grades? What section of the bookstore or what type of YouTube channels do you find yourself drawn to without thinking? What problems do your friends and family naturally come to you for help with? What activities cause you to lose all track of time? Let's consider a young professional named Michael. He has a good but unfulfilling job in general corporate finance. In his self-reflection, he realizes he spends his weekends not reading finance journals, but devouring books on ancient history and military strategy. His friends always come to him for advice on negotiation and long-term planning. He loses track of time when he is playing complex strategy board games. These are the clues to his natural inclination. The idea of becoming a deeper expert in corporate finance feels heavy and draining. The idea of becoming an expert in business strategy, using historical lessons to solve modern corporate problems, feels light and exciting. The second principle is the principle of market demand. Passion alone is not enough. You can be the world's foremost expert on collecting 19th century bottle caps, but if no one is willing to pay for that knowledge, it will remain a hobby, not a profession. Your chosen field of expertise must be one for which there is a clear and present market demand. Your specialized knowledge must solve a painful, expensive, or urgent problem for a specific group of people. This works because wealth is always a byproduct of solving problems for others. The more significant and widespread the problem you can solve with your expertise, the greater your potential for financial reward. You must find the powerful intersection between what you love to do and what the world is willing to pay for. In practice, this means you must follow your self-reflection with diligent market research. Once Michael identifies business strategy inspired by military history as his passion, he must validate its market demand. He can do this in several ways. He can use online tools to research how many people are searching for terms like business strategy, leadership development, and strategic planning. He can go to online forums for business owners and executives and observe the types of strategic challenges they are constantly complaining about. He can search for other consultants or authors who are already working in a similar space. If he finds that there is a vibrant conversation and a clear market of people willing to pay for strategic guidance, he has validated his niche. If he finds complete silence, he may need to adjust his focus to a related field where the demand is more apparent. Perhaps strategic storytelling for leaders or resilience training for executive teams, both of which could still draw on his passion for history. The third principle is the principle of focused specialization, or niching down. Once you have identified a general field that aligns with your passion and has market demand, the final step is to narrow your focus to become a specialist within that specialty. In today's crowded world, it is very difficult to become known as a general business strategist. It is much easier and more profitable to become known as the world's leading expert on using Napoleonic tactics to help tech startups outmaneuver larger competitors. The riches are in the niches. This works because a specialist can command a much higher fee than a generalist. A general family doctor has a certain income level. A pediatric neurosurgeon, a hyperspecialist, has an income level that is orders of magnitude higher. When you are a specialist, you have less competition, and your target clients are much easier to find and market to. You become a big fish in a small, profitable pond. In practice, this means taking your chosen field and asking, how can I make this more specific? Michael's field is business strategy. He can niche down by industry, business strategy for software companies. He can niche down by company size, business strategy for early-stage startups. He can niche down by the specific problem he solves, business strategy for international market expansion. After more research, he decides to combine these. He chooses his ultimate niche. I will become the leading expert in applying classical military strategies to help mid-sized technology companies solve their most complex growth and competition challenges. He now has a clear, powerful, and profitable field of expertise. He is no longer a drifting ship. He is a master navigator with a definite and valuable destination. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. You have now completed the crucial first step. You have identified your unique and profitable field of expertise, the definite port toward which you will sail. You have your destination. But a destination on a map is useless without a sturdy ship and the skills to sail it. Now that you know what you need to become an expert in, how, specifically, do you acquire that knowledge in a way that is efficient, effective, and guarantees you will rise to the top of your chosen field? Chapter 2. Acquiring knowledge that commands high value. Imagine two people who decide they want to become master chefs. The first person enrolls in a general, 4-year university program in hospitality management. He spends years learning a little bit about a lot of things: hotel administration, tourism trends, accounting principles, and a few basic cooking classes. He graduates with a broad general knowledge and a large student loan debt. The second person, having identified her passion for a specific niche, Northern Italian cuisine, embarks on a completely different path. She bypasses the general university system and instead uses her resources to fly to Bologna. She finds a job, for very little pay, in the kitchen of a celebrated old-school trattoria. She spends her days learning directly from a master chef, her evenings reading every book ever written on the history of the region's food, and her weekends visiting local farms and artisan producers. After 4 years, who do you think possesses the more valuable and profitable specialized knowledge? The problem is that our traditional education system is almost exclusively designed to produce the first person. It is a system of generalized knowledge designed to create competent employees, not world-class experts. It teaches people what to think, but rarely how to learn effectively on their own. People emerge from this system believing that education is a finite process that ends with a degree, leaving them ill-equipped to acquire the deep, specialized knowledge needed to thrive in a rapidly changing world. They are waiting for a curriculum to be handed to them, instead of having the skills to create their own. The solution, and a core tenet of Napoleon Hill's philosophy, is to understand that your formal schooling is merely the beginning of your education, not the end. You must take personal responsibility for your own learning and create a self-directed, lifelong plan for acquiring the specialized knowledge in your chosen field. This is about becoming an autodidact, a self-teacher. This approach is far more efficient and effective than traditional schooling because it is tailored specifically to your definite aim. You waste no time on irrelevant subjects and focus all your energy on absorbing the precise knowledge that will make you a leading authority in your niche. This commitment to continuous, specialized learning is what separates the amateur from the professional, the dabbler from the master, and the average earner from the high-value expert who can command their own fortune. The first actionable step in your self-directed education is to identify and acquire the foundational texts of your field. Every established field of knowledge has a small number of core books, papers, or courses that are considered the foundational, seminal works. These are the texts that the other experts in your field have all read and built upon. Your first job is to identify these works and master them. This works because it provides you with a strong, stable foundation of the core principles, the history, and the accepted wisdom of your field. It allows you to enter the conversation at a high level and understand the context for all future learning. Attempting to learn advanced concepts without mastering the fundamentals is like trying to build the roof of a house before you have laid the foundation. In practice, finding these texts is a straightforward intelligence-gathering mission. You can start by searching online for best books on your niche or most influential books for your target audience. A more powerful method is to identify 5 of the top living experts in your chosen field and find out what books they recommend most often in their interviews, podcasts, or blogs. You will likely see the same 2 or 3 books mentioned repeatedly. These are your foundational texts. Once you have your list, your job is not to just read them, but to study them. Buy a physical copy, read with a pen in your hand, Underline key passages, write questions in the margins, and create a summary of the core ideas of each chapter. Your goal is to deeply internalize the foundational knowledge of your chosen domain. The second actionable step is to find and learn from a virtual mentor. In Napoleon Hill's time, apprenticing under a master was a common path to expertise. In today's world, you can create your own virtual apprenticeship with any expert on the planet. A virtual mentor is a leading authority in your field whose work you will study with the same focus and dedication as if you were their personal student. This works because it allows you to learn not just the what of your field, but the how a top expert thinks, how they structure their arguments, how they communicate their ideas, and how they run their business. By immersing yourself in the work of a single master, you can dramatically accelerate your own learning curve, absorbing their years of experience and wisdom in a fraction of the time. In practice, you should choose one or at most two virtual mentors to focus on at a time. This should be someone who is not just knowledgeable, but who also resonates with your personal style and values. Once you have chosen your mentor, your mission is to consume everything they have ever produced. Read all their books. Listen to every podcast interview they have ever given. If they have an online course, it is likely the best investment you can make. Watch their YouTube videos. Study their business model. Take detailed notes on their unique perspective, their core methodologies, and the language they use. By doing this, you are effectively downloading their mental operating system into your own mind. You will begin to see the world through their expert eyes, which is a crucial step in developing your own expertise. The third actionable step is to implement a daily study ritual. The acquisition of specialized knowledge is not a one-time event. It is a daily habit, like a professional athlete's training regimen. The most successful experts are perpetual students of their craft. Creating a consistent, non-negotiable daily ritual of study is the key to building the deep knowledge that leads to mastery. This works because of the principle of compound learning. A small amount of focused study done every single day creates a massive cumulative effect over time. Reading for just 30 minutes a day adds up to over 180 hours of focused learning in a year. This consistent daily practice keeps your mind sharp, your knowledge current, and your passion for your subject alive. It ensures that you are always growing and deepening your expertise, which is your ultimate competitive advantage. In practice, this ritual does not need to be long, but it must be consistent. The best time is often first thing in the morning, before the distractions of the day begin. You might commit to a 30-30-30 ritual. Spend 30 minutes reading a foundational book in your field. Then, spend 30 minutes learning from your virtual mentor, perhaps by watching one of their training videos. Finally, spend 30 minutes in active application, perhaps by writing a blog post summarizing what you learned, or by practicing a specific skill. By protecting this 90-minute block of time every morning as your sacred period of study, you are making a powerful daily investment in your greatest asset, your own specialized knowledge. This is the disciplined habit that will, over time, inevitably place you in the top 1% of your field. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. You have now identified your profitable niche and have committed to a disciplined daily plan for acquiring the specialized knowledge to become a master within it. You are filling your mind with priceless information, but knowledge by itself has no value. It is like a warehouse full of high-quality building materials. The materials are useless until an architect organizes them into a definite, practical plan. How do you now take your growing expertise and organize it into a concrete plan of action that can be monetized and used to achieve your definite chief aim? Chapter 3. Organizing your knowledge into a plan. Imagine a brilliant historian who has spent a lifetime acquiring a vast and deep specialized knowledge of the Roman Empire. He can tell you the date of every major battle, the family lineage of every emperor, and the intricate details of Roman law and engineering. His mind is a treasure trove of information. But when asked what he plans to do with this knowledge, he has no answer. He has no plan to write a book. to create a course, to consult for filmmakers, or to lead historical tours. As a result, his profound expertise remains locked away in his own mind, a personal hobby that produces no tangible value for the world and no financial reward for himself. He is what Napoleon Hill called an educated derelict, a person rich in knowledge but poor in a definite plan for its application. The problem is that the acquisition of knowledge can be seductive and can become an end in itself. Many people fall in love with the process of learning, but are terrified of the process of doing. They are perpetually getting ready to get ready. They accumulate endless certifications, attend countless workshops, and read hundreds of books, but they never organize their knowledge into a concrete, marketable plan of action. They have a warehouse full of valuable building materials, but they lack the blueprint that would allow them to construct anything of value. This failure to organize knowledge into a definite plan is the great chasm into which most would-be experts fall. The solution, and the third vital step in Hill's philosophy, is to organize your acquired specialized knowledge into a definite, practical plan for achieving your financial objective. This is the crucial bridge between learning and earning. It is the work of the architect, the process of taking the raw materials of your expertise and structuring them into a valuable service, product, or business that you can offer to the world in exchange for your desired fortune. This step requires you to think not just as a scholar, but as a strategic entrepreneur. A plan gives your knowledge purpose and direction. It transforms your expertise from a passive asset into an active one. It provides the clear, step-by-step framework that will allow you to systematically apply what you know to solve real-world problems, and in doing so, command a high price for your specialized value. The first principle for organizing your knowledge is to create your unique methodology. To stand out in a crowded market, it is not enough to just have knowledge. You must have a point of view. Your unique methodology is your proprietary system, your signature process, your step-by-step framework for getting a specific result for your client or customer. It is your organized and packaged solution to their problem. This works because a clear methodology makes your expertise tangible and easy to understand. It gives potential customers confidence that you have a proven, repeatable process, not just a collection of random ideas. It also allows you to productize your knowledge, turning it from a service where you trade time for money into a scalable asset. A unique methodology is your intellectual property and the core of your brand. In practice, creating your methodology involves looking at all the knowledge you have acquired and organizing it into a logical sequence. You can often structure it as a series of steps, pillars, or modules. Let's return to Michael from Chapter 1, whose niche is applying military strategy to help tech startups. He has now acquired deep knowledge in this area. To create his methodology, he asks, what are the 5 core strategic principles a startup needs to master to win its market? He organizes his knowledge into a 5-step framework he calls the Startup Commander's Playbook. Step 1. Define the mission and the decisive point. Step 2. Assemble the elite core, team building. Step 3. Master rapid maneuver, agile execution. Step 4. Secure the supply line's cash flow. Step 5. Forge strategic alliances. He has now taken his vast abstract knowledge and organized it into a clear, compelling, and proprietary system that he can sell. The second principle is to package your methodology into a value ladder. A value ladder is a strategic way of structuring your products and services to meet customers where they are and guide them toward your most valuable, high-ticket offerings. Not everyone is ready or able to purchase your most expensive service on day one. A value ladder provides multiple entry points for people to experience your expertise, build trust, and then ascend to higher levels of investment. This works because it maximizes the lifetime value of each customer and creates a more stable, diversified business model. It allows you to serve a broader market while still commanding high fees for your most intensive work. In practice, you should design a ladder with at least 3 rungs. The bottom rung is typically a low-cost or free entry-level product designed to attract a wide audience and introduce them to your methodology. This could be a book, a low-cost online course, or a free webinar. The middle rung is your core offering, a more substantial product or service at a mid-range price point. This might be a group coaching program or a detailed digital workshop. The top rung is your premium, high-ticket offering, reserved for your most committed clients. This could be one-on-one consulting, an exclusive mastermind group, or a done-for-you service. For Michael, his value ladder might look like this. Bottom rung, a $20 ebook titled The Startup Commander's Playbook. Middle rung, a $2,000 online course that provides a deep dive into each of the 5 steps of his methodology. Top rung, a $50,000 one-on-one strategic advisory package for high-growth startup CEOs. This value ladder gives him a clear and organized plan for monetizing his expertise at different levels. The third principle is to reverse engineer your plan from your definite aim and deadline. Now that you have your organized methodology and your packaged value ladder, you must create a concrete operational plan to achieve your financial goal within your chosen time frame. This involves doing the math and breaking down your large goal into smaller, tangible sales targets. This works because it makes your financial goal real and actionable. It answers the question, what, specifically, do I need to sell to whom and by when? This clarity eliminates guesswork and allows you to focus your sales and marketing efforts with precision. In practice, you must work backward from your definite financial aim. Let's say Michael's definite aim is to earn $500,000 in the next year. He can now use his value ladder to create a plan. He might set a goal to sell 5,000 copies of his ebook at $20 each for $100,000, 100 spots in his online course at $2,000 each for $200,000, and 4 top-tier advisory packages at $50,000 each for $200,000. He now has a clear sales target for each of his offerings. He can then break this down further into quarterly and monthly goals. For the first quarter, his primary focus might be on selling the ebook and building his audience. For the second quarter, he will focus on launching and filling his online course. This detailed, numbers-driven plan transforms his ambition into a tangible business strategy. He has successfully organized his knowledge not just into a methodology, but into a definite, practical, and profitable plan of action. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. You have now completed the work of the architect. You have a profitable niche, a deep well of specialized knowledge, and a definite, organized plan to monetize it. The blueprint is complete, but even the most brilliant plan is limited by the power of a single mind. How do you now amplify your own knowledge and power by tapping into the experience and wisdom of others? What is Napoleon Hill's secret for creating an unstoppable alliance that can help you execute your plan with greater speed and certainty? Chapter 4. The Mastermind for Knowledge Application. Imagine Thomas Edison, a lone genius, toiling away in a dark, isolated workshop, single-handedly inventing the light bulb, the phonograph, and the motion picture camera. This image is a complete fiction, a myth. The reality of Edison's genius was not just his own brilliant mind, but the creation of his famous Menlo Park laboratory, which was, in essence, the world's first industrial research and development facility. It was a physical manifestation of a master mind, a collaborative environment where Edison brought together chemists, engineers, physicists, and skilled mechanics, blending their diverse knowledge and creative energies to solve monumental problems. Edison knew a profound secret. A single mind, no matter how brilliant, is a limited instrument. True, world-changing innovation and application of knowledge comes from the harmonious collaboration of multiple minds focused on a single purpose. The problem for so many aspiring experts and entrepreneurs is that they fall for the lone genius myth. They acquire their specialized knowledge in isolation. They toil away on their business plan by themselves. They believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness and that they must have all the answers. This lone wolf approach inevitably leads to critical blind spots, a lack of accountability, and eventual burnout. They are trying to build a modern-day Menlo Park with a single employee, themselves. Their progress is slow, their ideas are not challenged or improved, and their motivation wanes without the support and encouragement of trusted allies. The solution, and the fourth vital step in Napoleon Hill's path to riches, is to form and leverage the power of a mastermind alliance. This is the step where you deliberately and strategically multiply your own brain power by aligning yourself with other intelligent, supportive, and success-oriented individuals. Hill defined the mastermind as the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. He considered it the ultimate catalyst, the force that takes your organized plan and infuses it with a level of creative power and momentum that is impossible to achieve alone. By forming a mastermind, you are not just getting advice, you are creating a third mind, a psychic and creative energy field that emerges from the harmonious blend of the participants, allowing you to solve problems faster, see opportunities more clearly, and maintain the faith required for your long journey. The first actionable step in this process is selecting your alliance members with strategic care. The power of your mastermind is entirely dependent on the quality and character of its members. A poorly chosen group can be more detrimental than no group at all. This is not about finding your friends or people who will simply agree with you. It is about assembling a personal board of directors who will provide support, accountability, and complementary expertise. There are three critical criteria for selecting your members. First, they must be in perfect harmony with your ambition. This means they must be positive, success-oriented individuals who believe in the power of personal growth. A cynic or a pessimist will poison the group's energy. Second, their knowledge and experience should complement, not just duplicate, your own. If you are a product visionary, you might seek out a member who is an expert in operations and another who is a master of marketing. This diversity of perspective is what helps you see the whole picture. Third, they must be people of impeccable character, committed to confidentiality and to the mutual success of every member. In practice, you should aim for a small group, typically 3 to 5 people in total. To find them, you can look to your existing network, attend industry events, or join online communities for entrepreneurs. Let's look at Michael, our expert in business strategy. He knows he is strong on vision and strategy, but weak on sales and marketing. He deliberately seeks out 2 individuals for his mastermind, a successful B2B salesperson from a different industry and a digital marketing consultant. He now has access to their years of specialized experience to help him apply his own. The second actionable step is establishing the rules of engagement for your group. A mastermind is not a casual coffee chat. It is a professional, results-oriented alliance. To be effective, it must have structure, discipline, and clear expectations. A lack of structure is the primary reason most of these groups fail. This works because a clear format ensures that every meeting is highly productive and that every member receives equal value. It prevents the meetings from devolving into unproductive complaint sessions or being dominated by a single personality. The structure creates a safe, predictable, and fair environment for all members. In practice, the group should agree on a set of rules from the very first meeting. Rule 1. A consistent, non-negotiable meeting time. For example, every Tuesday at 8 a.m. for 1 hour. This consistency builds momentum. Rule 2. A structured agenda. A highly effective format is for each member to get an equal amount of time on the hot seat. For the first 10 minutes, they report on the progress they made on last week's commitments. For the next 10 minutes, they present their biggest current challenge and ask the group for specific feedback or brainstorming. For the final 5 minutes, they state their top 3 commitments for the upcoming week. This ensures accountability and forward movement. Rule 3. Absolute confidentiality. What is said in the mastermind stays in the mastermind. This creates the psychological safety needed for members to be truly open and vulnerable about their challenges. The third actionable step is defining the basis of reciprocity and contribution. The mastermind alliance, like any healthy relationship, cannot be a one-way street. To receive value from the group, you must be committed to providing value in return. If a member is consistently only taking from the group's energy and knowledge without contributing, the harmony will be broken, and the group's power will diminish. Before joining or forming a group, you must ask yourself, what value can I bring to these other individuals? This works because it shifts your mindset from what can I get to what can I give. This spirit of generous contribution is the very essence of the harmony that fuels the mastermind. When every member is focused on helping the others succeed, a powerful self-reinforcing cycle of mutual growth is created. In practice, your contribution does not have to be in the same form as what you receive. Your value might be your own specialized knowledge. Michael, our strategy expert, can offer to help his marketing and sales partners think through their own high-level business strategies. Your value might be your network. You could offer to make valuable introductions for the other members. Your value might simply be your ability to be a great listener, to ask insightful questions, and to be a source of unwavering encouragement and belief for the other members when they are facing a difficult challenge. By consciously defining and committing to your contribution, you ensure that you are an integral and valued part of the alliance, not just a passenger along for the ride. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. You have now built a powerful alliance to help you apply your organized knowledge and execute your definite plan. You have multiplied your own power. But with your plan in place and your allies at your side, how do you now communicate the value of your expertise to the world? What are the principles for marketing your specialized knowledge in a way that attracts a flood of your ideal clients and allows you to command the peak profitability you deserve? Chapter 5. Marketing your expertise for peak profitability. Imagine a reclusive genius who has discovered the cure for a common and painful disease. He has spent decades acquiring the specialized knowledge. He has organized it into a perfect, life-saving formula, and he has a definite plan for its production. There is just one problem. He is a terrible communicator. He is shy, he is afraid of criticism, and he believes that the virtue of his cure should be so self-evident that he shouldn't have to market it. As a result, his world-changing formula remains locked away in his laboratory, a secret known only to him. Millions of people continue to suffer from the very ailment he has the power to heal. This is a profound tragedy, and it is a tragedy that unfolds every day in the world of business. The problem is that many of the world's most knowledgeable experts are the world's worst marketers. They possess immense value, but they do not know how to communicate that value to the people who need it most. They often feel that sales and marketing are distasteful, manipulative, or beneath them. They believe that their expertise alone should be enough to attract clients and customers. This leads to the phenomenon of the best-kept secret, the brilliant consultant with an empty calendar, the insightful author with no readers, the innovative coach with no clients. Their specialized knowledge remains a dormant asset, producing no profit for them and no benefit for the world, all because of a failure to master the art and science of marketing. The solution, as Napoleon Hill passionately advocated, is to embrace the marketing and sale of your specialized knowledge as a vital and honorable part of your work. You must see marketing not as a manipulative act of selling, but as a noble act of service. It is the process of finding the people you are uniquely equipped to help, and clearly and compellingly communicating the transformation that your expertise can provide for them. Without effective marketing, your specialized knowledge has no channel through which it can flow to solve problems and create value. Mastering the principles of marketing is what allows you to open that channel wide, ensuring that your expertise reaches the largest possible audience and that you are justly and abundantly compensated for the immense value you deliver. This is not about becoming a slick salesperson. It is about becoming a powerful and persuasive advocate for the solutions you provide. The first core principle of marketing your expertise is the principle of imagination and storytelling. Hill listed a vivid imagination as one of the key requisites of a master salesperson. This is because people are not moved to action by dry facts, figures, and lists of features. They are moved by emotion, by vision, and by story. To market your expertise effectively, you must learn to be a master storyteller. You must use your imagination to paint a vivid before and after picture for your potential client. This works because stories are the native language of the human brain. A well-told story bypasses the logical, skeptical mind and connects directly with the emotional, decision-making part of the brain. When you can make a potential client feel the pain of their current problem and then feel the exhilarating relief and joy of your solution, the sale is already 90% made. In practice, this means you must stop selling your process and start selling the result. Let's return to Michael, our expert in military strategy for businesses. A weak marketing message would be, I offer a 5-step strategic consulting package. It is dry and uninspiring. A powerful story-driven message would be, are you a business leader feeling outmaneuvered by larger, better-funded competitors? Do you feel like you're fighting a defensive battle, always reacting to their moves? I use the timeless, proven strategies of history's greatest military commanders to help you turn the tables. I will help you find the high ground in your market, outflank your rivals, and achieve a decisive victory that secures your future. This message doesn't sell a process, it sells a thrilling story of transformation from victim to victor. The second principle is the principle of an attractive personality and brand. Hill observed that all master salespeople possessed a pleasing personality. This did not mean they were all extroverts, but that they projected an energy of confidence, enthusiasm, and genuine interest in the other person. In the modern world, this concept translates directly to the idea of a strong personal brand. Your expertise alone is not enough. People must also know, like, and trust you, the expert. This works because in a world of abundant information, personality is the ultimate differentiator. Your unique voice, your style, and your authentic charisma are things no competitor can copy. A strong personal brand builds a powerful connection with your audience, making them feel like they know you before they ever speak to you. This trust is the foundation upon which all profitable relationships are built. In practice, this means you must consciously decide how you want to show up in the world. You must be authentic, but you must be the most confident, enthusiastic, and authoritative version of your authentic self. This applies to every touch point of your brand, the design of your website, the tone of your emails, the style of your social media posts, and your presence on video or on stage. Michael, our strategist, might cultivate a personal brand that is calm, authoritative, and intellectual, like a wise general. Another expert in the same field might cultivate a brand that is high energy, aggressive, and motivational, like a fiery battlefield commander. Neither is right or wrong, but it must be a conscious choice. By consistently projecting an attractive and authoritative personality, you build a brand that magnetically attracts your ideal clients, the ones who resonate with your specific style. The third principle is the principle of persistence with purpose. No marketing plan, no matter how brilliant, produces results overnight. The path to building a profitable expert business is paved with moments of doubt, rejection, and slow initial progress. Many aspiring experts give up too soon. They write a few blog posts, get little traffic, and conclude that content marketing doesn't work. They make a few sales calls, get a few no's, and conclude they are not cut out for sales. They lack the most critical ingredient of all, persistence. This works because trust and reputation are built over time. It often takes 7, 10, or even 20 touch points before a potential customer is aware of you, trusts you, and is ready to buy from you. The expert who persistently and consistently shows up, day after day, week after week, delivering value and communicating their message, is the one who will eventually win. This persistence demonstrates a deep belief in your own value and builds a powerful sense of reliability and authority in the marketplace. In practice, this means you must commit to your marketing plan and execute it with unwavering faith for a predetermined, extended period of time. A powerful tactic is to make a 1-year commitment. For example, an expert might commit to publishing one high-value video on YouTube every single week for 52 weeks, regardless of the initial view count. They must have faith that this consistent effort is like planting seeds. For the first few months, nothing seems to be happening above the ground, but under the surface, a strong root system of authority and trust is growing. Then one day the growth explodes. One video goes viral, their subscriber count surges, and a flood of new clients comes in. This success was not the result of one video, but the inevitable culmination of 52 weeks of persistent, purposeful effort. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. You have now mastered the principles of identifying, acquiring, organizing, and marketing your specialized knowledge. You have a complete plan for becoming a highly paid and respected expert in your chosen field. You are on the path to building a great fortune. But how do you ensure that your success is not temporary? How do you transform your expertise from a profitable business into a truly unbeatable, long-term competitive advantage that creates a lasting legacy? What is the final crucial insight that elevates you from a mere expert into a true and enduring master of your domain? Chapter 6. Turning Knowledge into an Unbeatable Edge. Imagine a master swordsmith who, after years of dedicated study and practice, forges a single perfect sword. It is a masterpiece of balance, sharpness, and strength, the finest blade in the entire kingdom. With this sword, he can win any duel. He has achieved the pinnacle of his craft. He is a wealthy and respected expert. But one day, a new swordsmith arrives in the kingdom with a new, more advanced technique for folding steel, and his own perfect sword is suddenly rendered obsolete. His expertise, once unbeatable, has been surpassed. Now, imagine a different kind of master. This swordsmith also forges a perfect sword, but she does not stop there. She sees her creation not as a final destination, but as a single step on an infinite journey. She relentlessly studies new metallurgy techniques. She establishes a legendary workshop that attracts and trains the next generation of smiths, and she dedicates her life not just to making swords, but to advancing the entire art of sword-making itself. Which of these two masters possesses the more enduring power? The problem for many who achieve expertise and success is that they fall into the trap of complacency. They believe they have arrived. They stop learning, they stop growing, and they stop creating. Their specialized knowledge, which was once their greatest asset, becomes a static and brittle thing. They become the old master, clinging to their one perfect sword, while the world of innovation and a new generation of hungrier experts passes them by. Their hard-won success becomes temporary because they failed to understand that mastery is not a destination. It is a dynamic, lifelong process. The solution, and the final and most profound wisdom of Napoleon Hill's philosophy, is to commit yourself to the path of perpetual mastery. This is the understanding that to sustain your success and to create a lasting legacy, you must transform your specialized knowledge from a static asset into a living, growing, and evolving force. It is about building systems and adopting a mindset that ensures you are always at the cutting edge of your field, that you are always creating new value, and that your work is aligned with a purpose that is larger than just your own personal enrichment. This is the final step that elevates you from being a highly paid expert, a temporary champion, into a true master of your domain, an enduring legend whose influence and impact last for generations. This is how you turn your knowledge into a truly unbeatable, long-term edge. The first foundational insight of this perpetual mastery is that knowledge must be perpetually renewed. In today's rapidly changing world, specialized knowledge has a shorter shelf life than ever before. The strategies that work today may be obsolete tomorrow. The expert who stops learning is an expert who is already beginning to fail. You must commit to being a humble and perpetual student of your craft, no matter how successful you become. This works because it prevents the two great diseases of success, arrogance and complacency. A commitment to continuous learning keeps your mind open, curious, and adaptable. It ensures that you are always aware of new trends, new technologies, and new threats in your field, allowing you to innovate and pivot before the market forces you to. It is the ultimate defense against becoming irrelevant. In practice, this means formally scheduling time for your own ongoing education with the same seriousness you schedule your client meetings. A highly successful financial advisor, for example, might block out every Friday morning for deep learning. During this time, she does not take client calls. Instead, she reads new academic papers on behavioral finance, she takes online courses on blockchain technology, and she has deep conversations with other experts in her network. She knows that this investment in renewing her own knowledge is the single most important thing she can do to ensure she can provide her clients with the best possible advice for the next 20 years, not just for the next quarter. The second foundational insight is that true mastery is expressed through creation. The ultimate expression of your deep expertise is not in what you know, but in what you create with that knowledge. Hoarding your knowledge in your own mind limits its impact and its value. The true master moves beyond just selling their time and expertise one-on-one and begins to create tangible assets that can deliver their wisdom at scale. This is the shift from being a consultant to being an author, an inventor, a course creator, or a movement builder. This works because creating assets allows you to decouple your income from your time. A book or an online course can serve thousands of people around the world while you sleep, creating a scalable and passive stream of income and influence that one-on-one work can never achieve. It also forces you to clarify and refine your own thinking to the highest possible level. Most importantly, it creates a lasting legacy. Your personal time is finite, but a book, a powerful idea, or a proven methodology can live on and continue to create value for generations. In practice, this means you should always be asking, how can I codify and scale my knowledge? A highly successful leadership coach, after years of working with CEOs one-on-one, might realize that her core process is repeatable. She then takes the time to write a definitive book that outlines her unique coaching framework. The book becomes a bestseller, which leads her to create a scalable online course for emerging leaders. Finally, she creates a high-level certification program to train other coaches in her proven methodology, allowing her life's work to have a massive, positive impact far beyond the clients she could ever serve personally. The third and final insight is that the expert's ultimate unbeatable edge is service. In the end, what truly separates the good from the great and the great from the legendary is the why behind their work. An expert who is motivated solely by money, fame, or ego can always be beaten by someone who is hungrier and more clever. But an expert who is motivated by a genuine, deep-seated desire to serve others with their knowledge is operating with a power that is almost unbeatable. This works because a purpose of service creates an endless, renewable well of motivation that will carry you through any challenge or setback. When your work is aligned with a mission that is larger than yourself, it ceases to feel like work. Furthermore, this genuine desire to help is palpable to your clients and your audience. It creates a level of trust, loyalty, and authentic connection that can never be replicated by a competitor who is focused only on the transaction. This purpose-driven service is the ultimate competitive moat. In practice, this means consciously connecting your daily work to your highest purpose. A successful software developer who has already achieved financial freedom might continue to contribute his time and expertise to important open-source projects, not for any financial reward, but for the joy of service to his craft and his community. An expert chef might use her platform and profits to start a foundation that teaches healthy cooking skills to underserved youth. This commitment to service is what provides the work with its ultimate meaning and its most enduring power. It is the final realization that your specialized knowledge was never just for you. It was a gift that you were meant to cultivate and share with the world. You have now received the complete 6-step formula that Napoleon Hill distilled from his legendary study of the world's greatest achievers. You have learned to pinpoint a definite aim, to engineer your value in exchange, to set a conquest deadline, to architect a tactical plan, to form a mastermind alliance, and to program your subconscious mind for victory. This journey has shown you that success is not a mystery, but a method, and that specialized knowledge is the foundation upon which all great fortunes are built. The power to become a recognized expert and to achieve your grandest ambitions is not a matter of luck or birthright. It is a matter of following a definite, proven plan with unwavering faith and persistence. Thank you for taking this journey with us. Remember to like this video, leave a comment sharing the field in which you will become an expert, and subscribe to Success Attraction Formula for more timeless wisdom on the laws of success.